Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock Central African time. This is BTV News. We're broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Gaborone. I'm Oodi College. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. Dr. Gaositwe Chiepe laid to rest. Residents of Munengwad in Gootau granted permission to designate headman of arbitration.
Sport associations asked to enhance appeal for sponsorship.
And that is Tato Josemori joining us later on Sport. Desk Kamantlebabili is interpreting in sign language. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now, former cabinet minister, politician and diplomat, Dr. Gaositwe Chiepe has been laid to rest this morning at the Pomoro Cemetery in Gaborone. In his comforting words, President Advocate Dumaboko says Dr. Gaositwe Chiepe's life should challenge all the reclaimed Botswana as a glorious past, serve as motivation and lessons to approach life with humility. Guided by the values and virtues that she believed in, speakers in the funeral included former colleagues in cabinet and the Foreign Affairs Ministry, who all shared how she always put Botswana first in her work and helped make key decisions that got the country this far. Amongst those in attendance was former President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, his wife Ms. Noma Masisi, the former First Lady Ms. Barbara Mogai, and the former Minister and Diplomat. Matlabapiri reports.
Former leaders, politicians, friends and family gathered at the funeral of Dr. Chiepe to celebrate her life, a day that closes the final chapter in the history of a remarkable trailblazer, a woman of many firsts, an educator of note, Dr. Gaositwe Chiepe.
She has been described as humble, amazingly humble. She was a person of self-effacing humility. And her humility must stand as an abiding lesson to all of us. And we have no excuse not to be humble. When we have such guiding lights as the one we are celebrating here today, who was the very epitome of humility, selflessness, dedication, love of country and its people.
Her family praised her warmth and selflessness and described her as a soft-spoken mother, yet a disciplinarian who inspired them to strive for greatness.
She looked after her nephews and nieces, contributed to their upkeep where necessary. Some even lived with her for varying lengths of time. Her mantra was, open quote, only your best is good enough, close quote. Only your best is good enough. She preached and practiced this mantra in all that she did.
During our visits to her house, Nkuku always showed genuine interest in our lives. She would inquire about our education, work, all aspects of our lives, listening attentively at all times.
She dedicated her life to Botswana, its people, and its future. Fellow Democrats attest that her legacy as a diplomat and political leader will forever remain etched in history.
She was not merely a politician. She was an institution, and I mean a real institution, an architect of progress, a trailblazer in every sense of the word. Her leadership reinforced Botswana's commitment to peace, human rights, and regional stability. Many, and I mean many, African leaders, diplomats, and politicians have spoken about her wisdom, her firm yet diplomatic approach, and her ability to negotiate with strength and humility.
Dr. Chiepe leaves a lasting legacy as a national hero, and what she achieved as a politician, public servant, and diplomat is a model for all to aspire to emulate. Matlabapiri, BTV News.
Meanwhile, former colleagues and mentees of the late Dr. Chiepe have expressed gratitude to the guidance and disciplinary passed unto them by the former diplomat in their time past. Speaking on behalf of former parliamentarians, secretaries and the then Department of External Affairs who worked with Dr. Chiepe locally and abroad, she was described as the one who believed and desired to set an example to the global community that Africans can observe time and also be productive.
Dingwe tsa dithomo tse ke di dirileng nna personally le Mema Chiepe e ne le go kwanya madi go aga Tsholetsa House back in the 70s. Mema Chiepe ona itse go tlhokomela madi. She would account for every thebe. When
we were discussing the partnership with Europe, she would say, we need to show Europe that we are worthy partners by being productive. And she showed Europe that Africans could be productive. The negotiations culminated in the Lome Convention, which governs our trade relations with the European community. If you contrast the work ethic with what is happening in our economy these days, you see chalk and cheese. Botswana appeared comfortable with the categorization that they are a low productivity economy. The mediocrity which Dr. Chiepe shunned so much appears to be the norm. Again, where did we go wrong?
She was a very smart negotiator. She let's refocus ourselves in our negotiations, sharpen them, and try really to have good negotiators, because we lose a lot. It is for a country like Botswana, which loses.
In other news, technical colleges have the capability to produce graduates that are able to utilize their skills and transforming the economy, hence the reason why the government is keen on improving their colleges. This was said by the Vice President, Mr. Ndabakaolate, during his meet and greet session at Oodi College of Applied Arts and Technology. Abigail Samson has the report.
This tour is one of the government's initiative aimed at getting first-hand information about some of the challenges facing technical colleges in Botswana. The principal of Oodi College of Applied Arts and Technology says even though they continue to produce quality graduates, they are still facing some challenges such as outdated equipment and technology.
In order for us to acquire the relevant quality that we desire, a sound ICT infrastructure is critical. It is necessary in the college. And currently we have internet connectivity. And I'm pleased to inform you that it extends to the hostels and even the staff houses. But the challenges we have had during the tour is the ICT equipment, which is obsolete. Most of the equipment was provided during the inception of this college.
They presented me with something that I know you may not want to hear, an estimated budget of 54,560,700 pula for the provision of equipment and setting up for the new diploma programs throughout the training department. It may sound as a huge amount, but the returns will definitely outweigh the investment in TVET.
Since the government has reaffirmed its commitment in improving the education system in the country, the Vice President says this could be achieved through forging partnerships and collaborations between government, local and international businesses to address the challenges facing the technical colleges.
The ideal partner for institutions like this institution, we have started to define the characteristics of that partner. We are not just looking for partners who are in it for the long term or partners that have deep pockets. We are also looking for partners who would be proud, who are proud to be associated with the new Botswana narrative.
Still at this gathering, Mr. Haolate applauded the college's efforts in partnering with KGK Diamonds to design the Miss Botswana crown. He indicated that such efforts shows their support towards government's objective in achieving quality education. Abigail Samson, BTV News, Oodi.
Still with BTV News, thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on, residents of Moneng Ward in Gootau have been granted permission to commence the process of the designation of the headman of arbitration through elections or succession by birth to resolve the controversial issue that escalated to the courts of law. The Minister of Local Government and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Kitalifile Mosehwa, announced that the process will be led by Khosi Martha Lebang of Phalapi. Karabo Mulusi reports.
The judgment, which set aside the appointment of Mr. Patson Maile Pompe III or anyone holding fort for him as headman of arbitration in Moneng Ward, responding to the application filed by Mr. Uitile Tau Maile as the first applicant, supported by 80 others, has shifted the accountability of a sustainable solution on the Bohosi conflict back to the community and the royal family. It's one of the objective judgments because it does not appoint anyone as Khosi. It has referred the powers to you as the community to decide. When there is a conflict, let's be mindful of our language because it can worsen the situation that could have been resolved. When given a chance to speak, be cautious with your words and attitude if it restores or distracts. But it would work best for all of us if we could focus on restoration. We had anticipated to meet you at the main kotla, but we applaud your thoughtfulness of coming to address us in our kotla where the issue is centered. The judgment has presented a second chance for the royal house and the community to explore options that include mediation, reconciliation, restoration of dignity and preservation of their history that could come handy in resolving similar issues in future in case they arise. I was born in 1942 and this khotla was existent. The Uitile and Ramatlapin families are related. They should hand over Bohosi amicably, in accordance with the law and history. Do not fuel controversy in Bohosi. Don't cause hatred between the siblings and the community. The persisting controversy in this village is due to political influence, and you will have to come back again. We plead for interventions from you. Upon return to your office, please examine these issues thoroughly. I appeal to the uncles to speed up the process of resolving issues of this ward. I'm eager to see these issues come to an end because we couldn't stand the unpalatable language that dominated in it. The community of Moneng Ward and the royal family will decide on an inclusive method to conduct the determination process from the available options of elections and inheritance according to their history. Karabo Mulusi, BTV News, Gootau.
Drones for Africa and the University of Botswana are steadfast in their unwavering commitment to advancing technology and innovation in Botswana. This was said by Managing Director of Drones for Africa, Ms. Marambakanyi, when signing Memorandum of Understanding between Drones for Africa and the University of Botswana in Gaborone. Mojadi Mukibelo.
The Memorandum of Understanding between Drones for Africa and the University of Botswana marks yet another beginning of a transformative journey, representing a shared commitment to driving technological progress, fostering innovation, and creating opportunities for the next generation. When signing the MOU with the University of Botswana, the Managing Director of Drones for Africa indicated that this partnership comes at a time whereby this nation has now resorted to the use of technology as a way of finding solutions to the current challenges facing Botswana and Africa beyond.
Your students, or our students, let's say, will not simply learn about drones, but they will innovate with them. They will apply that knowledge to solve real-world challenges, shaping the future and driving economic growth. And as we embark on this journey, my team and I are filled with optimism and determination. Today, we lay the foundation for a future where Botswana leads in technological innovation, where our youth find opportunities at home, and where African solutions address African challenges.
This collaboration will also fuel research and development, spark technological innovation, and establish comprehensive training programs between the two entities.
Let's operationalize this MOU. Let's power the economy. Economies are now powered by knowledge. Economies are not powered by natural resources. See what happened to Botswana. When the diamonds were not selling, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Now, with these very diamonds, there's now lab-grown diamonds.
The partnership will further integrate technology and innovation into critical sectors of the economy and represent the shared commitment of fostering local talent, advancing research capabilities, and creating opportunities for the youth. Mojahedi Mukibelo, BTV News, Gaborone.
The Member of Parliament for Okavango West, Mr. Kenny Kapinga, has emphasized the need for collaboration among village leadership to address the challenges facing the constituency to advance the development of the region. He made the remarks at a consultative meeting in Shakawe. And Tiny Sukudu has more.
According to tribal leadership, Okavango is one of the least developed districts in Botswana, calling for a mindset fostered on self-reliance. Leaders were further asked to prioritize the interests of the people and be accountable for decisions taken. Unity is seen as the pinnacle for development, such as infrastructure, educational sector, and health facilities. We long to see developments in Okavango. For us to reach the goal, we need to work together and collaboratively advance our efforts for growth. We need to all join hands to ensure human development. We don't have offices in Shakawe. We should be considered for developments, considering the bulk of the work we do in our offices. The Khosi raised concerns or challenges which hinders effective service delivery. We deliberately despise each other as the tribal leadership, which leads to some of the decisions like the one we've been talking about.
We have a lot and lots of graduates, but they are thinking.
We have educated young people, but we are failing to foster collaboration with them. I would suggest having 2 or more chief reps in Shakawe. The Khosi requested for orientation for leadership so they better understand their role and execute their duties effectively. Giletlelezwe, Somlekai, BTV News.
Now, stories making headlines beyond our borders. Media reports say M23 rebels say they plan to take their offensive all the way to the capital, Kinshasa. At a briefing in Goma, rebels said after capturing Goma, which is the largest city in the eastern part of DRC, the rebels said their next target is the capital, Kinshasa. The group said their fight is for their country, DRC, and not for the minerals, as reports have been speculating. African News unconfirmed reports also suggest that the M23 are currently advancing towards Bukavu, the second biggest city in the region. The group, however, said they were open to dialogue with the government as part of their plans to gain political power in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is time for our sport news. Tato Khosimore on standby.
Thank you, Olibile Samoka. This is Botswana Tonight Sports segment brought to you by Tato Khosimore. Let's jump straight into our leading story. Minister of Sport and Arts Jacob Kelebeng has called on the leadership of the National Sporting Associations to ensure that they deliver an appealing product to attract and retain its key stakeholders and sponsors. Minister Kelebeng said this while officially opening the 2025 Sport Pitso at the Super Hall in Gaborone. Here's Komzo Sefako with more details.
The Botswana government remains the major contributor to sport in terms of development and funding. However, Minister Kelebeng highlighted that the government alone cannot achieve the desired progress and stressed the need for support from the private sector. He emphasized that sport have the potential to create much-needed jobs and positively contribute to the country's economy.
The private sector is at our disposal and our potential partners in the delivery of sport programs and projects. And as leaders in sports, we should strive to tap into this potential source of funding. However, we must ensure that as the sports sector, whenever we call for such investment from the private sector, we have a product that is attractive. This will mean improving in which we run our affairs. This is an increased need for accountability. There is an increased need for accountability and transparency as it enables sponsors to ascertain their investment.
Minister Kelebeng also addressed the impact of the absence of school sport on grassroots development, saying the government was currently engaging all the stakeholders to holistically facilitate its re-implementation.
There is a dire need to develop and implement a holistic approach towards school sport, which involves all stakeholders, and resource needs for such implementation can be clearly outlined. It is for this reason we have started engagements with the Ministry of Child Welfare and Basic Education to bring back the school sport. I'm aware that the ministry has attempted to mitigate the lack of school sport through the Matlagolatsela program. However, we have noted that the program also faces its own unique challenges. I look forward for your views in relation to Matlagolatsela to ensure that we ultimately have a program that has buy-in from all stakeholders.
The 2025 Sport Pitso focus on key areas such as school sport, funding, hosting strategies, and the BNSC Act. The aim is to generate new ideas and strategies to help the ministry and associations elevate local sport to an international level.
The ministry is also aware that one day may not be enough time to engage on all the key issues that affect the sports sector. Hence, we plan to have other more engagements like this one. That would be that would have to be focused on discussions in future with a view to fully deal with them.
Know that our diamonds are no longer doing well. We need to look at the other sectors that can help our country go forward. And sports tourism is one of those. It sits pretty well because sports fanatics will go anywhere in the world. I was amazed last time I met a Chinese young boy who even knew that there's a village called Marobela because of Nigel Amos. It shows the power of sport and how it can connect to people.
The 2025 Sport Pitso is expected to help all stakeholders in sport to develop a clear strategic mandate for the upcoming years with the view of taking local sport to new heights. Khomzo Sefako, PTV Sport. Gaborone.
Moving on, Township Rollers defeated VTM FC by 2-1 in FNB Premiership League match held at Royal Area today. Popa's goals came through Segolame Boy in the 13th minute of the game, with Godfrey Taoyatswala scoring the second goal in the 38th minute of the game to ensure that Township Rollers claim the 3 points to top the FNB Premiership block standings with 36 points. Let's take a look at the match highlights.
The ostriches banana security systems. Arabone Popo, Ramata Pengo Batlamoto by Salamoro Mahempe, Segolame the Wonder Boy with a wonder goal. And a larger township Rolasana Catapili. Bola Capemorena Capevesa was Hamakalle Papama, Marcelo Romanacala Maluto, Abet Hachamonati. Hachamonati Godfrey. Halosita Nagore, or Ratasebo, Soholo Jambobe, Pocanosa against VTM.
Football is cruel. You play well, then you lose a game. That's how football is. But nevertheless, you saw our boys, we didn't start well in the first half. We gave them respect, okay? Then at halftime, we told them to say, let's believe in ourselves. Let's add extra mile on it, yeah? Then we'll get it right. As you saw, first half, first 10-15 minutes, we got a penalty, a genuine one, where we could do a break through the defense, and we got a consolation. But we piled up pressure, you saw for yourself. It was unfortunate on our side. We give credit to also our counterparts for the win, okay? It was a hard fought for them. But even us, who could have wrapped it up at one point.
At some point, you could tell that, hey, are we giving it away? But that was not the thing. The boys resisted because we wanted at least this win. So at least it has been achieved. Yeah, but we mentioned it at halftime. That at the back there, we don't need to be trying to be tricky. Let's play it simple. That ball could have been played early in time, but we delayed it until we fouled. But anyway, it does happen in the game of football. The bottom line is we didn't give it away. The game ended up in our favor, which is what we wanted anyway. You know, they say on top there it's cold. We will need to put a lot of work to stay there. It's not easy. When you are there, you are the target for everybody. So you need a lot of resilience. You need to know that you have to play until your last game. You need to be focused when you are there because everybody targets you.
In other FNB Premiership League matches played this afternoon, Security Systems defeated Orapa United 2-1. Tafik dropped to the second spot after playing to a 1-0 draw with Jwaneng Galaxy. Nico United suffered 2-0 defeat against the Muchudi Center Chiefs. Swa Flamingos hammered Matebele FC 4-1, while Morupule Wanderers and Union Flamingo Santos played to a 1-0 draw. Still with football, in a First Division South League Week 10 fixture played at the BPSC Stadium yesterday, UB Hawks defeated the Young Strikers by 3-1. Katlago Khakwele reports.
Young Strikers were the first to find the back of the net early in the first half after a defensive error by UB Hawks backline. Hawks eventually found the rhythm to take control of the match, and in the 42nd minute they managed to level the scores thanks to Kailo Nzimane's strike. In the second half, the Basco boys seemed to have taken coach Alex Maleti's instructions to heart as they enjoyed possession until they scored their second goal through Brand Tukane in the 64th minute. Coach Michael Magaladi's team searched for an equalizer, but it was too little too late as Hawks scored their third goal instead, with Kabo Matsula sealing their 3-1 victory against Young Strikers.
We started well. But I believe if more especially the goalkeeper. Obviously, it's a panic because every ball in a Yakopali hela in a rehab problem. And Hono is super. But he's our number one goalkeeper. I don't know. He's been doing well. I don't know because all my players were fit to play the game.
I think first half was perfect for us. Second half they came back, they did well. After we scored the third goal, we didn't play enough. As much as we have won, there are things that we need to work on. We are playing the same team next match, FA Cup. We expect a very, very difficult match. And for us, if we look back, the main downfall for us has been converting chances, and today we managed to get 3 goals.
This result marked the third win in 10 matches for UB Hawks in the current campaign, while young strikers registered their third defeat of the league. Katlaho Kakule, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Katlaho Kakule bringing us to the end of Botswana Tonight sports segment. Thank you for watching. Let's now take a recap of the headlines.
Dr. Gaositwe Chiepe laid to rest. Residents of Muneng Ward in Gootau granted permission to designate headman of arbitration.
In sport, a sport association asked to enhance appeal for sponsorship.
And that is all.
8 a.m. We have 11 millimeters at Lechem Primary School, 4 millimeters at Mokane Primary School, and some drops at Mahalape Metro Car Station. Now, looking into the current satellite picture, clouds are visible over most parts of the country, and this bluish color over central and northeast districts shows some developing thunderstorms, which may possible thunder or shower this evening. For tomorrow, partly cloudy conditions are expected over the entire country with isolated thunder showers, except over southern Kalahari districts. In the morning, warm temperatures are expected over Chiepe and northeast district of 16 degrees Celsius over Panamatenga, 18 degrees Celsius over Francetown, and 19 degrees Celsius over Kasal. And over the bulk of the country, hot temperatures are expected in the morning of 20 degrees Celsius over Gumare, Ngojane, and Jwanin to 23 degrees Celsius over Tsabong, Veda, and Silibe Peak. In the afternoon, hot temperatures are expected over southern southeast Katlenkweni, southern central northeast Chiepe, and Ngamiland districts of 33 degrees Celsius over Shakawe to 35 degrees Celsius over Jwaning, Mahalape, and Francistown. And over the remaining districts, very hot temperatures are expected, ranging between 36 degrees Celsius over Khanzi and Kade to 38 degrees Celsius over Ngojane, Tsabong, and Middle Bees. Therefore, the public is still advised to take necessary precautions. Now, looking to SADC cities for tomorrow, a few patches of clouds are expected over Cape Town, Appington, and Gqeberha with a maximum temperature of 37 degrees Celsius over Appington. For Johannesburg and Manzini, possibility of thunder showers are expected with a maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius. Also over Antananarivo, possibility of thunder showers are expected, while over Beira, few patches of clouds are expected to be visible. For Harare, partly cloudy conditions are expected with a maximum temperature of 28 degrees Celsius, while over Lusaka, possibility of thunder showers are expected with a maximum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. And over Windhoek, few patches of clouds are expected with a maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius. Still on SADC cities, possibility of thunder showers are expected over Kinshasa, while over Luanda, Blantyre, and Dar es Salaam, possibility of showers are expected with a maximum temperature of 32 degrees Celsius over Dar es Salaam and 26 degrees Celsius over Blantyre. Well, that's all I had for you tonight. Have yourself a good night.
This edition of Eye on SADC, Zambia launches the Citizen Support Portal. Eswatini Parliament ready to host their majesties on Friday. and World Bank to support Mauritius implementing its reform plan. Greetings and welcome to our original news bulletin of Eye on SADC. I'm Ivan Chishanda. It's a pleasure to be in your company, and thank you so much for joining us. Now, to start off our bulletin,